We've qualified for the World Cup. Go and compete. We'll prepare and we'll go and we'll do our best. We'll put them under pressure. The game is about being effective, being aggressive, winning the ball, getting on with the play. We'll put them under pressure. Put them under pressure.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. Let's just get this right. There we go. There we go. Swappy woozy. We swap it around. Just made a quick substitution. I'm on. Phillips off. There we go. Phillips going off to arouse the pressure. Am I joking? Hi, good evening, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to Thfc Till I Die. You're with Tottenham past, present, and future under Ange Postecoglou, and welcome to Newsbeat. Yeah, it's back. We've tried the other show, and do you know what, Philip? The name wasn't catchy enough for me. Newsbeat does exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
This is what this show, isn't it? This is what this show every day is about, Newsbeat. And that is what it is. So, how are you, Mr. Brady? You look more refreshed than you did yesterday, to be fair.
Yeah, that wouldn't be hard. Yeah, you're up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get to Heathrow Airport to get a flight home. It was, Heathrow was stressful at the best of times, you know. So
Heathrow's not the friendliest of airports, to be fair.
Oh, anything but. I mean, the service with a scowl, that's the way I'd put it, you know.
Now, did you notice, Phil, I've noticed when I've flown into Heathrow to go to Spurs games, they let you into the country without even a check.
That's right, yeah.
But coming out of the country, they're like, they're checking everything. Well, do you think you should be doing that before we went in?
Yeah,
you know?
well, because we're in a common travel area, they don't have to check your passport coming in, but they check it going out. Just
I go
we
with my.
had to show our passports at Knock Airport coming in yesterday.
You flew into Knock.
Yeah. Oh yeah, flew to Knock.
I love that airport. I remember that airport when that airport first opened.
Yeah,
I
so
flew
do I.
there with my dad, and literally, they actually had to stand on the runway to get your bags off the plane. They didn't even have
but you still have to stand outside in whatever weather there is. There's no canopy waiting to get onto the plane. So if it's raining, you're stuck in it. You're stuck with it, you know.
Yeah, and you can never land there either. That's the problem.
Very windy. Yeah, it's very windy.
I remember once we were going home to see my granny and up in Mayo, and we were flying from Luton to Knock, which was the flight you could do back then. And we flew around Knock Airport, couldn't land, as foggy as anything. Yeah. And there's a woman in front of us start getting the rosary beads out, right? Start saying that. So we're flying back to Dublin, and the pilot comes on. I swear to God, I'll never forget it. He says, we're sort of short on fuel. He says, so we've got to glide in for the last little bit. He says, but don't worry, I have it under control.
Good God.
I thought of that last night, right? Remember of last pre-season, Eric Dyer going, you know, I've got this.
I got this. Yeah. But you know, my biggest memory of Knock is the first time I went there. It must be 30 years ago. Been into the bar area downstairs, and there was a traveller's funeral coming in from England, right? And there was 4 traveller ladies of the more elderly variety sitting around the table, each with a pint of Guinness in front of them, and these big long black dresses on them. You know, I just wish I never. My ultimate regret was I never took a photograph of it, because you'd never ever see that again. You know.
No, that's mind you, to do dress well though for their events though, Philip. To be fair to them, they do.
Unless you're talking about a disco or a wedding.
Yeah,
that's a different kettle of fish. We're not going there.
I did my pre-day prediction for Dave's channel today, and I went along the Michael Collins route. Right, I was watching. Do you remember in the bit of the film where he's talking to the people, and it was filmed in Rathdrum in Wicklow?
Yeah,
I was actually taking the place where it was filmed, and he's saying our only weapon is our refusal, sort of thing. You know that bit? And I sort of switched it around for today for my prediction video. So I had my inner Michael Collins today in that video. You know, we won't be. Our only weapon is our refusal not to be beaten on Sunday. You know? And then I ended up with the video with, we will rise, we will win. We are Tottenham Hotspur, Dermotron out. I sort of dropped the mic and just left.
Yeah.
I don't think they've seen it yet, but for me, it was one of my most serious sort of you got to be up for this game, Philip. You cannot, as a fan, if you can't get up for this game as a fan or a player, there is something seriously wrong.
I'm more concerned that the team gets up for it. Because that's what really counts. The team, we can get up or down or whatever. It's the team has to be up for it. The team has to be prepared. The team has to go out and put Fulham and Newcastle to the back of their heads. If we play like we did against Newcastle, not good. But I think Ange will be cute enough now to tweak things a little bit, and then Arthur won't know what hit them on Sunday.
Exactly. I think they need to watch Michael Collins before the game. That's what I think Ange needs to do. Put on Michael Collins, put on that bit of the speech in Rathdrum, and you watch them. They go out and they'd be knocking them over like Mick Collins did with the British Army all them years ago. Shut up, Dermot. You're getting too political. Big up to Thfc till I die. He says, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
Yeah.
I don't know who this fella is, Philip. He keeps coming.
He's back again. He keeps popping up now and again.
Yeah, he's like a sore penny. Stephen Cartwright. Good afternoon, lads. I'm worried about Sunday. Don't be. What are you going to be worried about? Seriously.
I can understand that, Dermot. I think, listen, deep down, everybody's a little bit concerned about it. Everybody is, really, you know. Especially after Arsenal winning 5-0 last night. Like, I know Chelsea lay down and let them, but which will never happen to a Tottenham team. But Arsenal are playing well at the moment.
Look, as I said, Stephen, stick on Michael Collins, watch that bit, and you be pumped like I am. You gotta. If he needs Ange's like Michael Collins this weekend, he's gonna tell them players, our refusal is not to be. That's our biggest armory. Is our refusal. It's our refusal to be beaten. It's our refusing to let them win at our place. It's our home. It's our house. And they're not even from North London anyway, Philip. So I don't know what they're going on. That's the North London derby. I mean, they're only they came into North London when 1920, 1918, and squatted, and they've been squatting ever since. How do we get rid of them? They don't even pay Tottenham rent. So there you go.
Yeah, true.
Anyway,
true.
Yeah, people, Dermatron is getting delusional very quickly, very early. Philip's getting a bit worried, especially with this debate tomorrow night. 10 hats on, everyone. Big up to Wayne Bonner. Right, I'll let you do this, Philip. You're the man.
Hello, and one and all. Hope you're well. I'm looking forward to our 6-1 victory on Sunday. Come on, you Spurs.
See, that's the.
I hope you're right, Wayne. I hope you're right. I think the odds on that would probably break Paddy Power if you put a tenner on it. But no, I think I'll take a 1-0 win with a goal in the 97th minute off both posts, the goalkeeper's back, and the crossbar. I don't care.
And you go knee sliding across your sitting room again.
yeah.
You might run around the house screaming. And then we've got FTSM Column. Big up, Mr. Column. And everyone, please do go over to our gaming channel, Double Dumb Gaming, which is part of the Thfc and Full-Time Sports Network family. So please get over there. He says Arsenal are going to be feeling confident after. They only played a little. Who did they play last night? A team that lay down like a little doggy with all 4 legs in the air. Please rub my belly because I like being rubbed by Arsenal. You know,
I heard a great joke about that this morning. Mauricio Pochettino's wife woke him up and said, Mauricio, it's 6. Jesus, I've scored again.
Seriously, though, Philip, how bad have Chelsea got this season? Seriously.
Yeah, but Dermot, you know bloody well they'll be up for next Tuesday or Wednesday night when we play them. You can be sure of that. Yeah. It's the one game they don't want to lose. Imagine losing 5-0 to Arsenal and getting turned over by Tottenham in the same week.
I know.
Yeah.
And they should have beaten Man City on Saturday. That's the annoying thing about it.
Only so. Yeah. But then again, referees not giving penalties when they should, you know?
Yeah, well, we'll go down to that. If we get onto that subject, that would send Philip down a very dark rabbit hole. The one he may not come back from. A bit like Jeremy Clarkson. Chris says, pick up Chris. He says, big up, lads. Hope you're well. Big game for Liverpool tonight, Philip. Merseyside derby.
Big game for Everton too. Everton win this tonight now. I think they'll be safe, you know.
Yeah, I think they will be. Liverpool starting to talk with Feyenoord. 10 million buyout, 10 million compensation is the figure that Liverpool will have to pay Feyenoord for Slot. Yeah. Do you think it's a good move for Liverpool, Slot, or do you feel there's better managers out there for Liverpool, Philip?
There's probably better managers that have managed in more competitive and stronger leagues than the Dutch league, you know. But then again, if they want to pay 10 million quid for a slot machine, that's their business, you know.
And we've got Matthew coming in. He says, big up, comrade Dermot, and big up, comrade Philip. Yeah, it's a very much of a USSR feel about this channel recently. Yeah.
I'm just after watching the IPL cricket from India there. Just some finish of the innings by New Delhi. He probably knows what I'm talking about.
I didn't know you were a cricket fan.
I watch it. I watch it if it's on. You know, I'm saying I'm a fan, but I'll watch it.
If Ireland are doing the 2020 against England, we'll do a watch long to that.
Right, that should last about 10 minutes.
Anyway. I don't know. Didn't Ireland beat England the last time they played 2020?
No, they beat them once back in 10 or 15 years ago. Right?
Correct. Wayne, you're saying big up to Chris and Matthew. Chris is saying Slot seems to tick every box on the criteria for us. It's more progressed than other candidates.
Yeah. You see the other guy that was supposed to be in for the Portuguese guy?
Yeah.
Who also went for talks with West Ham, which didn't go well. Now, if there's any sense, he'll stay away from them. But a bit of a come down from Liverpool to West Ham, I would have thought, you know.
David Moyes, is he out at the end of the season? Do you think, Philip? Is he gone?
David Moyes is at a rough. I think he's done okay with West Ham and what he's got to play with. He's done pretty well. He won a trophy, which is more than some of our managers did. So you know, I think he'll be sacked. I think the West Ham fans don't like him anymore. But
no, do you think he should be clapped out at the end of the season? There, Do you think West Ham fans should clap him out and say, look, you won us a European trophy. You've kept us well. Do you know what I mean? Should he be given a good send-off by West Ham?
He should be, yeah. He should be, whether he will or not. By them, all they'll probably do is blow bubbles at him, you know. So,
that's all they do at West Ham, apparently.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, managers, when they're fired, they rarely get a chance to say goodbye to the fans. It's normally they're sacked the next, and they're gone that day, you know. So
yeah, well,
unless they let him have the last match of the season at home and then sack him. You know?
Yeah, which could happen. And Matthew said, yes, sir. Yeah. He went, yes, sir. Fair enough. I'm nervous for the Merseyside derby. Despite a good record, they will want to stop us winning the league. I think Liverpool have that game won, to prefer. Josh Butler is a T20 player for England. Didn't know that.
He's some player, so he is too. Great player.
Wayne is saying, oh, is the Merseyside derby tonight? What time's kick-off? 8 o'clock. But don't worry, guys. We're here at 7:45 with Around the Grounds, where I'm going to cover the whole Premier League, and Column's coming on to cover the Man United game. So we have Around the Grounds tonight. Chris,
did I hear that a lot of Manchester United fans sent back their tickets for tonight?
Yeah.
After Sunday. They've been discussed it when the Sunday, yeah.
I've heard that. We've got slot styles quite similar to Klopp, but Slot plays a 4-2-3-1. Soz Buzzle will be happy so he can play in his cam role.
Buzzline.
Yeah. The APR win. Cheers, Chris. I'll have to catch the first half. Well, Wayne, we're covering the match here, so don't worry about that. I don't know what West Ham want more. It's been their best manager for a while and won them a trophy. It is one of those, isn't it, Philip? It is one of those. What the hell?
Yeah,
to be fair,
it is. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's just some fans are never satisfied, you know.
No.
And off in the background, they'll let it round.
That's okay. Andy says Tottenham Spurs this week match. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. And good luck tonight, by the way, Andy. Hope Liverpool win. We've got Matthews in my neck of the woods, North London derby. Bring it on! See, he's like me. He's as pumped as I am. You know, by Sunday, Philip, I think if you asked me to demolish a house bare hands, I would have do it. I'd be that pumped up for that game. I'd be like, I'm my own demolition army. You know, Dermatron knocking down houses barehanded. That's how pumped I will be for the game on Sunday. Now, you're wondering, what are we talking about? You don't want to hear what I want to talk about. You want to know what we are going to talk about. End of seasons, are there end of season? Are their players friendly? Basically, going to ban the end of season friendlies. Conor Gallagher to Spurs. The ref and VAR named for the North London derby. New away kit leaked, and Hill to final. Do you want to start the away kit first, Philip? Get that out the way.
I mean, if this is the kit, I must say I really like it. It's such an improvement on that monstrosity we wore up at Newcastle, which I think you know something. When I saw it in the Spurs shop the other day, I was even going to set light to it. It was that annoyed me that much to see it there. That's Argentina. That's Argentina's kit for me. That's lovely. I like that.
I've always loved Argentina's home kit. Just let me bring it back there for you guys. There we go.
Ozzy Ardiles has had that influence there, I'd say. Ozzy's got his word in.
What could the new Tottenham away shirt look like next season? And it's that. And look, I like it. I really like that. I really do. That bit. I prefer all yellow, Philip. To be fair, I've always liked the old yellow kit, but I like that.
Nice. I like that. I'd buy that one myself now. That's how good it is.
Yeah,
I'd buy that.
I would too, Philip. Well, I'll tell you where we're going to start. We are going to start on, let me, if I can bring it up. Let's see what we're talking about. Have I got that right? Yeah. The FA is considering banning end-of-season friendlies matches in a bid to protect players. Now, Philip, last week they got rid of all the replays in the FA Cup. Because apparently they're trying to protect the players. Let me get that.
How can they ban a team from playing a match if a team wants to play a match not under the auspices of their leagues? I don't see how they can do that. I'm just speaking from a legal point of view here. Yeah. They can make players play the match, the League Cup matches, the FA Cup matches, and the Premier League matches. But once the season's over, surely it's up to a club to do what they like. I don't see how the ALLTHE could have the law on their side to do that, you know?
Look, I agree with it, Philip. I think them going to Australia at the end of the season is ridiculous.
Oh, it's madness. It's madness, but it's a money-making madness. It's money-making madness.
Why say it's madness, Philip? If there was no European competition at the end of the summer, then I would say no problem with it because you've got the whole summer to recover. Yeah. But because Euro 2024 is coming in June and the season ends on the 19th of May, so if you're looking at it, right, you've got the 19th of May, so you've got 1, 2,
3 weeks.
3 weeks, and then you've got a European Championship which goes all the way into the 14th of July. So then players are not going to get any break, and then when they do finish that, everyone comes back into pre-season friendly, pre-season training in early July.
Yeah, I think what will happen there, the players that are going to be involved in the Euro will not go on the Newcastle trip. It doesn't make sense. They'll leave them at home to get a week off before they have to go off training for their countries. Like the likes of Porro and Dozier, because he's out of it now, but Mickey van de Ven. There'll be quite a few players not on that trip, which is kind of diluting it for the fans out in Australia. They're not going to see the first team, the Spurs first team. Vicario won't be there either. No. But what they'll do is they'll pad the squad out with the likes of Jamie Donnelly and Santiago and Will Lancashire and that. And that'll be a great experience for those lads to go out away with the first team. So that's from that point of view, it'll be good exercise. But if they bring any of the players that are going to the Europeans, it'll be total madness. Yeah, it will.
What are you really? What do you think of the FA Cup replays getting rid of as well, Philip? There's a lot of criticism about it.
Yeah, I think I've no problem getting rid of them, say from round 4 or 5 on, because you're getting into the sharp end of the season there with a lot of matches. But a lot of the non-league teams and the lower league teams, they rely on the income from FA Cup replays to keep going. And they're the ones that are making the biggest fuss about this. Will the FA listen to them? No chance.
No. Philip, Conor Gallagher. Now, this has been rumbling and rumbling, and Matthew be getting excited, as he puts here. As he does put here, he puts, Conor Gallagher, what the beep? Right. And Colin says it looks like an Argentinian kit. It does. Can we just say that isn't the official Tottenham away kit? Is one that was leaked. So we don't know yet. Now, Chelsea. I got to read this off my other screen, so pardon me if I'm looking away. Basically, Philip, Chelsea, let me get it up here. Chelsea owners are planning to sell key players this transfer window in order to keep in line with FFP guidance. Now, how bad does a club have to be run that you have to sell your main assets? I mean, how bad do you think the Chelsea situation is, Philip?
Like, as I said to you before, the Chelsea sponsor should be Billy Smart's circus on the front of this, because that's what they are. They are a circus at the moment. Todd Bowley has come in there thinking he knows it all, knows absolutely nothing about the way football teams are run, and he's put them into this position now that they're going to have to sell their best players to buy anything new. But I mean, look at the money they spent. They spent millions of pounds on players who can't even get into the first team now. It's a joke. But if we can benefit from that by making them an offer that knowing Daniel Levy, he probably offered 30 million, whereas Gallagher's worth 50 million. But if we can get him, it'd be a huge addition to the squad for next season. It really, really would.
And would that mean one player going out, Philip? But who would you think would that be? Højbjerg sort of out the door?
Probably Højbjerg, but you just don't know. It could be if Gallagher comes in, then certainly I think Højbjerg will be on his way. But if Gallagher doesn't come in, I think we should keep Højbjerg.
Yeah, I think so. Look, how bad is it, Philip? Look, football finances, we've talked about it enough on this channel. We don't know a lot. We don't know. I don't know an awful lot about it. You know a bit more because you worked in the financial world yourself for years. Look, how bad does a football club have to be to get into the mess Chelsea you're in? I mean, is it because they spent too much? Is it because they didn't? So, I mean, what is it? What went wrong?
Well, they tried this stunt with the 8-year contracts, which was swiftly rebuked by the FA. I think it's purely down to a guy coming in new into the club, didn't know the rules, thought he might get away with bending the rules. He hasn't. I mean, if there's any justice in the world, Chelsea will be hit with a big points deduction soon. Really. I mean, why have Everton got it and Nottingham Forest have got it and Chelsea haven't? This is the old thing that's coming back. Is there favoritism involved here? Is there pressure being brought to bear by influences? We don't know who's doing it to the FA not to punish Chelsea until at least the end of the season. So they've really been run so bad. They're an example. If Tottenham are an example of how financially to run a club, Chelsea are the exact opposite. Right? So clubs should be looking at Daniel Levy's model. I know we don't always like what he did, and there's no point in saying he's been brilliant. He hasn't. He's done some good things. He's done some terrible things. But at least you can be sure Tottenham, unless something drastic happens, will never ever be looking at a points deduction for financial fair play.
No, and you look at the way the Man City thing's not gone. That's gone away, but it hasn't gone away.
That is a total joke. It really is. How are they getting away with it for so long?
Yeah, I mean, how long do you give a club to go through? Try to use red tape to slow up an investigation. How long?
How clever your lawyers are. Depends how clever your lawyers are. City have obviously got very, very expensive, very clever lawyers who have come up and found the loopholes that's keeping this case from being finalised. Whereas Forest and Everton probably didn't think to employ lawyers of that calibre to keep them out of trouble. They're in trouble. City are not in trouble yet. We can only hope that actually is a false dawn, that they will get...
Well, they are in trouble. There is 115 charges against them, so it's a case of having the case heard.
Well, even 1 point for each charge, it puts them back out of the Football League altogether. You know what I mean? Punch deduction-wise. So something has to be done. I mean, it's making a laugh of the whole thing. It's City going there. They'll probably win the league this year. They'll probably win the FA Cup. There's your team winning the double, and they shouldn't even be in the final, and they shouldn't even be in the league they've won, technically.
You're looking at the EFL, probably don't want them in their league. You've got the Premier League saying, well, look, we have to knock them out of the Premier League. The EFL saying, well, look, we're not going to take them unless we're financially reimbursed for taking them. And then where do you put them in the EFL?
The Northwest Schoolboys League under 10. That's about the league they'll end up in.
If you're being serious about it, Philip, where do you put them in the EFL? Do you put them in League 2? Do you put them in League 1? Do you put them in the Championship? Where do you put them? Where is big enough punishment? And then are they going to appeal that punishment? And if they are going to appeal it, is that going to drag it on? And then it leaves everyone up in arms, say it happens next season, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking at the 24-25 season. So you're looking at the 25-26 season. Where do you put them? Where do you put them in? Do you do a Rangers? What do you do with them?
Well, Rangers were demoted two leagues, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I just very quickly on that? Sorry, Philip. Very quickly on that. Give you a bit of background on that. The SPL had to redraw up their constitution of their football league to keep Rangers from going bust.
Yeah.
Where do you? What do you? I mean, it's a mess, isn't it? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
They should be probably points deduction-wise. They probably deserve to be put into the National League.
Yeah.
But that won't happen because that will be deemed as too severe a punishment. So what will probably happen, they'll probably demote them 1 or 2 divisions, put them either in the Championship or League 1 and wait for the appeal to come in. And the appeal will probably take forever. So it's not beyond the realms of possibility that the next season and maybe the season after, City will still be sitting in the Premiership with this thing still hanging over them.
Yeah. Good. And then you got the teams that are being promoted then. So you got teams from League 1, an extra team then were promoted. You got an extra team being promoted from the Championship. Then they don't know if they're coming or going. Because if they put it, and then you got the Chelsea thing as well, Philip. Should Chelsea be docked points or fine? It's fines. The question I want to know, and ask you and the people in the comments, which we're going to get to in a minute, are fines not good enough now for the likes of Chelsea, Manchester City? Because it's just pocket change to them.
The only fine that would affect a team like Chelsea would be one of like 50 million quid. Something massive like that they might struggle to pay. Because if you fine them £1 million quid, pocket money, couple of games gate receipts, you've got to hit them really where it hurts. Points deduction or league deduction is the way to go here. But as you rightly say, the teams coming up are going to be in limbo, and they don't know how to prepare for the following season. Are they going to go up? Are they going to be down? But there is also a rumor going around now. Again, it's a rumor. I'll make that the Abu Dhabi government had a word with the British government to say that if anything drastic is done to Manchester City, the price of oil is suddenly going to shoot up. Now, put that in your pipe and smoke it. It's quite feasible that something like that is happening in the background we don't know about.
So are you telling me that a political government or a political government is interfering in how we run the game in the UK?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Well, did you see what's happening about some team from Saudi Arabia is coming to play in? Is it? It's in some team and wherever they're playing anyway. But the club that the game has been played at is going to rename one of the stands the Adnan Khashoggi stand. The guy the Saudis murdered. So, I'm not saying there's political influence everywhere you look in this world. Yeah. Everywhere you look. And it would not surprise me if someone's had a quiet word with Rishi Sunak, or whatever you call your prime minister over there, to say that the price of oil now could increase by 20%, because they're one of the major oil producers in the world. Yeah. And they technically have I know it's supposed to be Etihad Airways, but it's Abu Dhabi that owns Manchester City.
Yeah. And
would not surprise me in the least, because nothing is money talks out there.
And what we sort of know in the background, what might happen, and who might happen, you know what I'm on about.
Yeah,
that might blow that all out of the water as well. By the way, if you know what I'm getting at. But anyway, Colin says the FA are putting together a financial package to cover the loss of revenue that may occur. I think, look, if you're going to do it, then scrap the replays. All games go straight to penalty kicks. If it's 1-1, forget extra time. Go straight to penalty kicks. Give the team a chance.
Extra time. I think that there'll be a lot of teams that want to keep extra time. I think so. I think that's only fair. The replay's fair enough, but I think extra time. I think replays in the later grounds, they're fine. Get rid of them. But I still think they should be left in for the early rounds. I mean, what the hell? Yeah. But if you're back in the October, November, December playing a lower league team in first qualifying round, a replay is not going to upset your schedule too much. It's when you get to January, February, March, when there's a lot of matches coming along, then maybe get rid of the replays.
Yeah. So that we've got Wayne Bonner. I watched half hour of the game last night. I didn't even watch it. Gallagher was the only decent player for Chelsea, followed by Maduke. I take Gallagher if Ange wants him and he wants to come. I think he will want to go to Tottenham, I think. And speak to Ange 5 minutes, he'd be there. Where do I sign? Wayne also says Højbjerg and Skip will go in the summer. I hope not Højbjerg, but Skip definitely. He agrees with you, Philip. He says at least our beloved Tottenham are financially stable and well run, which is true.
Yeah, I mean, it's having seen them in action on Monday there at the tour. There's every way they have of getting money out of the fans. They do it. They do it so well you don't even realize they're doing it. It's a slick operation. It really, really is.
Yeah. And if you wonder where Philip's interview with Daniel Levy was running away from The Godfather at one point. That's right. Yeah. He thought he'd get away with it by taking the train, but no, The Godfather followed him. Wayne says if City drag it out and the Maya teams get screwed in the process via relegation, then this clubs would be looking to take them to court.
Yeah.
It's so true. And this one, Philip, really interests me. Yeah. If those allegations are proven true, not only will Man City be thrown out of the league, not just the EPL, but the EFL, they can also be arrested on blackmail charges.
Yeah, and quite rightly so if it happened. Okay, I know that those rumors are rumors. I mean, they're out there, but who knows what's true and what isn't really. But I'd say it would not surprise me, given the way things are done out in the UAE, if there was a little bit of pressure being brought to bear to go easy on City, But Colin, that'd be very, very interesting if that was the case. That would.
So
be
what's
really,
the blackmail
really
on the EFL, Philip? I haven't heard this. So what's this rumor?
No, if they said to the government, okay, you kick Manchester City out of their league, or punish them over and beyond what we think they deserve, then we'll suddenly either stop oil production to drive the price up, or we'll do something to bring up the price of oil. And the price of oil, it affects everybody. It affects the cost of living, inflation, the whole thing. And it's just, I'm sure governments make threats to each other all the time, like Israel and Hamas and all that is a case in point at the minute. And but one like that would be taken to the extremely seriously if it was true. If it is true, it is only a rumor.
Yeah. Wayne's then, how much were the stadium tour tickets? Do you want to talk about your tour, Philip? Because I know you want to get onto it. So
yeah,
how you get on about your tour?
There's two. And all I know is the price of a Legends tour, which is like the Ozzy Ardiles or Martin Chivers or Graham Roberts, Steve Perryman, is 55 quid. Now I think the ordinary tour, when just one of the lads brings you around, it's about 30 quid maybe or so. But I have to say, it is money well spent. It is 2.5 hours of pure Tottenham. And for anyone that might have heard the story, Ozzy Ardiles was due to give our tour. Now, he doesn't give the tour. A guy called John, who's actually 75 but does not look it, a lifelong Spurs fan, he actually does all the talking. But Ozzy, came along, he was introduced, and everybody clapped him. And next thing, Ozzy says, bit of a surprise for you. I have a friend visiting me at the moment, and I think he might like to come along on the tour. And who walks out? Ricky Villa. Ricky and his wife were staying with Ozzy. And Ricky comes out and says, me not speak the English very well. Me never speak very well. Just,
I want to know, did anyone ask him about the Ozzy's dream, Top of the Pops? Did they?
No, the only way that came out a bit was when somebody pronounced Tottenham and Ozzy said, no, Tottingham. That's the way he did it. But I was telling the story, but when Ricky was very funny. Ricky was saying, when I come here, he says, my English no good. He said, I don't understand what they say, right? So when player next to me bends down, I bend down. I didn't know what the manager was talking about. And South American football is so different than here. I didn't like to run. He more or less admitted that he wasn't suited to the British game. He said too much trouble to run back and cover. He covers, I didn't, and that's why Ozzy was the better player of the two. Yeah, but it was so funny. And Ozzy went on to talk about the really expensive restaurants or the clubs you can join in Tottenham. It's the H Club, which is not Harry Kane Club now. It's the Hotspur Club. It's something like, for two people, 30 grand a year. No, so 15 grand each to join, and 15 grand each a year to have your lunch and your free drinks after the match, and free drinks. Anyway, but you have to renew it for a minimum of 2 years, which means that's 90 grand. Could be 90 grand you have to pay up front, Yeah. But Ozzy then says, but you get a free program.
Is that the bombshell? Is that the bit?
Punchline? That was his punchline.
That was the punchline.
But they asked him with the Q&A at the end of it. And we asked the question I asked him was, I started the first question out. I said, Ozzy, are you claiming an assist for Graham Roberts' equaliser in the UEFA Cup final in 1984? He said, see, you missed. He hit the crossbar from 18 inches out. He said, oh, that's a good point. I never thought of that. Don't even know how to describe how. For that match, we had serious injury problems in that game. Ray Clements was out, Steve Perryman was suspended, Hovell was injured, Ozzy was injured, and Gary Mabbutt was injured, right? So they were nearly down to the bare bones. And Keith Birkinshaw said to the two lads, right, is either of you fit to take part as a substitute? And Ozzy looked at Gary, and Gary looked at Ozzy. He said, right, whoever runs the fastest to that wall there gets the job. And Ozzy ran faster than Gary Mabbutt, so he came on as a sub,
Did Gary Mabbutt play in that game?
No, I don't think so. Maybe he did, but anyway, Ozzy won the fitness test anyway.
Yeah,
and but he was saying that lost my train of thought now. Yeah, that was then the second question I got to ask was, I was at their first ever game for Tottenham. They Dalymount Park, 1978. They played Bohemians in a pre-season friendly, and I always remember it. It was £2 to get in, which is compared to the prices now is hilarious. But all the Irish fans had remember the ticker tape in the World Cup in Argentina? Yeah, they had all this ticker tape to throw onto the pitch. All the Irish fans had it ready for them when they walked out, and he even remembered that. He said, "Yeah, I remember the ticker tape." So, but it was a great tour. We got sorry.
Did they do it at the first Tottenham's home game as well? The ticket tape.
Oh, they did, in Nottingham Forest. Yeah, Nottingham. We drew 1 each, and Ricky Villa scored in that game.
Yeah.
And they also did. They talked about the. Apparently after the first FA Cup final in 1981, when Ricky had to walk the whole way. Apparently, because of the space at Wembley. You know, Jeff, I often wonder this, and this actually answers the question. You remember when Ricky went off? He didn't go to the bench. He walked the whole way around the pitch, down the tunnel. Apparently, there was no space for him on the bench. So we had to do the walk with Johnny Wallace, the kit man, back to the dressing room. And he couldn't even sit on the ground on the bench till the end of the match. But that night, they were having a dinner in the Hilton Hotel, supposedly the winner's dinner or whatever they usually have. And Keith said to Ozzy, tell Ricky he's playing in the replay. And the rest is history. Yeah. Because we all thought that Ricky wouldn't play in the replay because it was so bad.
Who made the first go for Ricky?
Ozzy
Ardiles.
Well, there's one. I'll finish up on this part of the tour. Well, they were talking to Keith Birkinshaw met Ozzy a few weeks ago. Now, I don't know, was Ozzy at the reunion for the 1984 team there? He wasn't in the picture. He may have taken the picture, but anyway, he was saying, Keith came up to him and said, Ozzy, I'd like to thank you for all you did. For all you did for the club. You came over here from Argentina and you had language difficulties, you had everything. You were brilliant. You were a brilliant player. And I'd like to thank you so much for that goal you scored in the replay. With a wink in his eye. He said, oh, sorry, wrong fella. And Keith is 86. He's 86, Keith Birkinshaw now, you know.
I would love to get him on. I don't know how.
That was a brilliant tour. Anyone that's in Tottenham, please do it. It's absolutely brilliant. You see the dressing rooms, and the one bit I'll tell you about the dressing. We sat down in the away team's dressing room, and I happened to sit in the spot where there was an Arsenal jersey. So initially he went like, geez, I'm not sitting there, you know. And Ozzy saw it, and he comes over and he turns the shirt around to the badge is facing the wall. That's it. He hates Arsenal. He hates them.
It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me. It really wouldn't. But look, I would have asked him about when he played in the testimonial with Maradona.
That was that. I'll give you the answer. Somebody asked that question. Yeah. Apparently, Maradona was playing for Argentina in Norway the night before, right? And he told the Argentinian manager, I'm going to London tomorrow to play in my friend Ozzy's testimonial. The man said, no, you're not. He said, yes, I am. So next 5 o'clock Monday evening, Ozzy lands at White Hart Lane, right? He's no boots. Clive Allen lends him a pair of boots, right? Which Maradona signed afterwards. And now that's Clive Allen's most treasured possession is Maradona's boots. He played the whole 90 minutes of that game. Right?
Was that before the World Cup in 86?
1986, yeah. It was just before the World Cup. He was preparing for the World Cup at the time, you know. And he also said that Clive Allen talked about that match. He says, I've never played in a match before where I felt so detached from reality. I was watching these players, all these great players from around the world, not just Maradona. There was a whole raft of really good players playing on that pitch. Glenn Hoddle, the whole lot. He says it was brilliant. And then Ozzy went on to say, he said the last time Maradona came to a Spurs game, but you remember the match at Wembley about 5 years ago? We beat them 4-1.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah.
He came to that game, and Ozzy said to him, now, I'm going to bring you into the VIP lounge afterwards. But he says, just remember, he says, you're not very popular in England since 1986 for obvious reasons. He says, so just expect a little bit of, there might be a bit of pushback on this. So after the game, anyway, Maradona walked into the VIP lounge at Wembley Stadium full of Spurs fans and got a standing ovation. And he said there was tears in his eyes. He couldn't believe, what the reaction was. He was expecting far worse, and he got that.
This is why I love Maradona. You can forget about 86, but by God, he was the greatest player I've ever seen growing up in my generation.
Well, it was asked who do you reckon is better, Maradona or Messi? And both the lads said Maradona. He says Messi is a great player in the last 15, 20 yards of a pitch. Maradona, great all over the pitch.
Yeah. We did that debate, didn't we? Pele or Maradona, didn't we, a little while ago? I love Maradona. You watch him in the 86 World Cup. He single-handedly took a whole nation to a World Cup final.
Yeah.
Single-handedly. And he could have played in the 78 World Cup, by the way. Not a lot of people realise that. You could have. But bigger, I'm glad you had a great time for the...
it was fantastic. It really was. Yeah. Then to meet Daniel Levy on the train station afterwards, jeez, that was just surreal. Absolutely surreal.
He's still in shock, Daniel.
I said, no, I'm not letting this go. I went up and I thanked him for giving us the stadium. I says, fantastic stadium. I says, thanks for everything. And also, just on the tour. And also, ideally, should be on TV. Oh, glad you enjoyed it.
You should have got a video saying, please like and subscribe to THFC.
Oh, now, come on.
Philip, you know full well I would have done it. You know I would have done that.
Yeah.
We've got Matthew says we're 8 getting to the Champions League. Yes, we are. That's all I'm going to say. That. No. We've got Matthew saying, so you're telling me the UAE have more power than the UK?
They have the oil. They have the oil. That's all. I'll leave it at that.
Dan Wayne says, damn, that's more than a ticket for the Women's FA Cup final. I went to a stadium tour back in 15-16 at the Lane Brilliant Tour. I got an email for tickets for the Women's Cup final this morning.
Yeah, I got that as well, yeah.
Would you go to it? I'm being serious, though.
No, seriously, no, I can't. So I'm over at Burnley. I can't put my nose up to go again.
I'm tempted to go to that. I really am tempted. Brad, who spells Tottenham as top spur? Like, what the hell, man? I don't know. I don't know. We've got Brenny. Big up Mr. Brenny, the Arsenal fan who's on tomorrow night. Of course, him and Bobby. He says, afternoon, gents. So looking forward to tomorrow evening. Oh, and Sunday too. Benny, we can't wait to have you. We're so looking forward. This man is a gentleman, isn't he, Philip? He really is.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
He's an absolute gentleman. Big up, we've got Sasky the Gooner, the year of Maradona, of course, 86. And he also says, best talent Clive Allen boots ever saw. And then Brenny says,
Clive Allen was good too now. 49 goals in the season. That'll never be replicated.
No. Maradona was the best in our era, one of the top 3 best players ever. Yeah, I would agree. Who would you put as your top 3, Philip?
Pele, Maradona, and Messi.
Right, here's a question for you. Bench, sell, start. Pele, Maradona, Messi.
I'll tell you, bench any of them lads would be a riot. If you sold them, it would be an even bigger riot.
Yeah, no, come on. Bench, sell, start.
Oh, God.
Pele, Maradona, Messi.
Probably in terms of usefulness to the team, whatever. I'd probably start Maradona, bench Messi, and sell Pele, and that's just ridiculous, really. But you know,
I do know what I start Maradona, bench Pele, sell Messi.
All right, okay, yeah.
So, Brenny's gone for Pele, start Pele, bench Maradona, and Garincha.
Garincha was brilliant. He played in the 1958 and 62 teams. He was brilliant.
Yeah, I tell you one thing.
The little bird.
There is a summer show, Philip, about we can do about old players. There's a show there, best players we've ever seen. That's the show. Wayne says, I'm going to the Women's Cup final. My cousin sorted it out on the season ticket, £15 plus $1.95. Do you know what, Wayne? Good. I am starting to. I got a ticket. I'm going to look into how much it's going to cost me, but I wouldn't mind going to that. Tottenham in the cup final, Philip. You can Tottenham in the cup final. Start Pele, bench Cristiano, and sell Messi. Wow. Last thing we're going to talk about, Philip, is before we finish up, because I know you're short for time.
On the clock here,
yeah. Hilde Feyenoord. Do you think who do you think's gonna? I know we've got Hilde Feyenoord, but who do you think were the main 5 players that Ange will sell this summer?
Okay, he'd probably sell Joe Rodon, obviously. Ed Spence, the 2 that are out on loan.
Yeah.
Troy Parrott, probably. Brian Hill, not that I don't like him. I think he's just never had a chance. He's not bulked up enough to play in the Premiership. I think he's got lots of skill. And probably Lo Celso as well. And maybe Højbjerg. We don't know about Højbjerg.
Don't know about Højbjerg. And look, I agree with that, Philip, personally myself. But Højbjerg is a 50-50 for me. And the last thing, Philip, the Premier League have announced that Michael Oliver will be the referee for the North London Derby, and the VAR will be Gerard Gillette. Now, Michael Oliver was the referee when we lost 4-1 to Chelsea.
Yeah.
And Gillette was on the VAR for the Brighton game I went to in February. He was on VAR that day. Michael Oliver, he's not my favourite. Well, he's better than Anthony Taylor. Let's put it that way.
I'm better than Anthony Taylor. I don't referee.
Philip, this year, have you any confidence in the referees, officials at all?
No. No, not the Nottingham Forest versus Everton thing really knocked on the head for me.
Yeah.
You know, our team warned the FA. They thought that the VAR official was leaning towards Luton Town. They didn't replace him, and then there was 3 contentious penalty decisions. You know, so no, the refereeing standards are absolutely dreadful. Do you know what's a pleasure to watch sometimes? Some of the European Champions League games and the referees there, you wouldn't even know they're on the pitch.
No,
there's a guy from Holland, Danny McAlealy. I think he's a brilliant referee.
Brilliant.
You know, a good referee, you don't even know he's there. The trouble with our referees, they seem to think it's all about them.
Yeah.
You know, making a name for themselves and getting in the public eye for decisions they make.
Yeah.
I mean, VAR should be very simple to operate, but it's not. Each guy that does it has a different interpretation of it.
Yeah. Look, for me, Philip, I think Michael Oliver is probably the best out of a bad bunch to me. And so is Gerard Gillette as well. I think he's the best out of a bad bunch. But the FA...
There could be a close shave on Sunday if Gillette's in charge.
That's very true. But I think the Premier League, the FA have to look into improving the refereeing. And all this with VAR, Philip, and the new offside official not coming in until October as well. Look, for me, it's ridiculous. Look, we've got 2 more things and we're going to finish off. Basuma, what about him? Would you sell Basuma?
They'll probably keep him. He might come good again. He's just having a bad season.
Yeah. And also, Wayne says, same as Philip, but with Skip, Dombele, Segerson going to take a hit on all transfers. But
I forgot all about them because they've been so out of the picture. And Dombele, we're going to take a huge hit on him. Absolutely massive hit.
What do you do with
off the payroll?
What do you do with him? Do you just cancel? He's got a year left now on his contract from the summer. So do you just cancel?
Sell him for 5 million or something. Get rid of him. Just get rid of him.
Yeah, and
get some money back from him. Get something back from him.
Yeah, and Segerson, keep, sell.
Sessegnon has been unlucky, but I mean, he's perpetual. He's the new Darren Anderson, new sick note.
Yeah.
So he's got to go.
I tell you what we do, but before the end of the season, or probably just after the end of the season, me and Philip will do a show on transfers. Who's out? Who we're going to keep? Who we're going to sell? Who we're going to loan?
Yeah.
So we are going to do that. Philip, that brings Newsbeat to a close. It's been I love Newsbeat. I love the name. I love the show. Newsbeat for me is just exciting. It's always good. I'm back tonight at 7:45 with Around the Grounds. We're going to bring all the lates for the Premier League games, columns doing the Man United game. And Philip, we're back tomorrow at 5 with Newsbeat, and then we're on tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for the lovely debate show.
The big debate.
And then Friday, hang on, hang on, I'm just saying, I'm just waiting. Well, all right, I've got some news here, Philip, very quickly. Tottenham and Leipzig are in ongoing talks to extend the loan of Timo Werner rather than triggering their option to buy clause in the existing deal with the German striker, wanting to continue working on the Ange next season. And also, Tottenham Hotspur are reportedly eyeing a swap deal in forward Jed Spence with a transfer summit planned with Serie A outfit Genoa, where he is currently on loan for Genoa. For Genoa's forward, Albert Gunmonderson.
All right, okay, wherever he is.
So there's a little bit of breaking news for you guys.
Well, I had heard about the first one you mentioned there. What do you call him?
The Werner.
Werner, the Werner was going to extend the loan deal, which makes sense. I'd keep Werner anyway, regardless of what. I want to see him at the club next season. Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Werner, come on. You wouldn't keep him?
I would.
Oh, sure,
I would keep him.
Yeah.
No, you know I like Werner.
I know a lot of people don't like Werner, but Werner, his creativity down the left-hand side is something we badly need, and we need him badly on Sunday as well.
Him and Johnson down each wing, Philip.
Yeah. The scary pace.
Yeah, they have. On Friday, we're going to have we're going to have a few pre-records, aren't we, Philip, for the members as well. Our predicted lineup, our pre-match thoughts. And then Friday, we're going to do this live at 5, Philip, or 7? What time suits you Friday? 5 or 7 Friday?
5, I think, 5 should be.
Well, do you want to do it at 7? Because it is a North London derby. We've got the fan show at 7, so we're going to do it at 5. It's the North London Derby history show, where me and Philip go back through the years. And 7 o'clock, we have our first members show every Friday, have 7 o'clock. Your members come on and you have your say. It's a members only show. So only if you've got a membership, any membership, you can come on and have your say. But that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And we'll be back later at 7:45. Oh, sorry. Philip, if you have to go, I'll let you go. I have to mention Wrath Energy.
Yeah, I'll head off and I'll see you later on,
yeah.
okay?
All right. I'll see you later on, Philip.
See you later.
All right.
See you, lads.
Take care. See you later now. Bye-bye. I tell you what I do have to do, lads. Let me take him out there. So let me do that. Thank you, Mrs. Tron, for reminding me. See, Mrs. Tron, it's very good. I'm a forgetful old git, and Mrs. Tron reminds me. But there you go, guys. As quickly as a flick of the finger, hit the QR code above me for Wrath Energy, our official partner of THFC Till I Die. And if you do hit that QR code, you get 10% off, and you use the code THFCTID for 10%. It helps them, it helps us, and it helps us bring you better content. It helps us bring you better graphics as well, guys. So please do hit that QR code for Wrath Energy, the official partner of THFC Till I Die. And thank you so much for watching today. It's been a great show. Really enjoyed it. Great chat in the chat as well. But please do join me at 7:45 when I do bring you around the grounds. And yeah, I'll be back then. So come on, you Spurs. And Big Ange, we trust. Where's the up button? Where is the up button? I'll tell you what, I'm going to go out with this. See you later.